Clemson fans keep swearing up and down to me that they are fine and they're not going anywhere, and Dabo's way of doing things is going to work. Well, I actually buy into that. We're going to talk about that in this video here today. I am Colin Bashigal, though, your host of Bash the CFB show. I said this in my last video. My voice is a little bit shot, so be patient with me if it doesn't sound the best with what I'm talking about. I'm laboring and doing what I can here. I'm actually cutting the amount of videos that I was going to be doing short simply because of my voice. So we're going to be trying to do a little bit of speed run tomorrow specifically to be able to try to push out, as you could hear in that voice crack, push out the videos as I do different things to recover my voice and not make, this even worse than it already is. All right, so Clemson playing against Georgia in Atlanta. The Georgia Bulldogs are a team that is loaded with talent. They did lose a little bit. Ladd McConkey is gone. Brock Bowers is gone. But when you replace him with Oscar Delp and Dylan Bell and Dominic Lovett and a bunch of skill position players, that's a good thing. And a lot of people are also concerned about the Georgia running back room. Without Trevor Etienne, they're going to be fine. This was always going to be a running back by committee situation anyway, and they have a really spanking good offensive line. They don't have too many questions on that offensive line. Replacing one of the tackle spots might be something that is a little bit of an uphill battle for them, but how uphill is it really? I don't feel like it's that big of a deal for Georgia trying to replace that. And so they're going to be loaded all over the place, not to mention a quarterback who makes good decisions, doesn't turn over the football, and is looked at as one of the best prospects going forward. Now, they're going to go up against a pretty solid defense at Clemson. I think that the young edge rushers on the outside for the Clemson Tigers are definitely going to have to show something in this ball game, but that defense has ran through Barrett Carter in the middle for sure. And I think that watching that guy just absolutely try to take over a football game is something that Clemson can try to lean on, especially through conference play, but certainly something that their defense is going to have to lean on in this game. But they're going to have to get constant pressure on Carson Beck without sacrificing the run game. Because Georgia, I don't care what anybody says, is fully capable of being able to run the ball on Clemson in this game. Clemson's secondary is also a point of concern with two guys like Tariano Pride and Andrew McCabe ended up transferring out. They still have RJ Mickens. They have Avion Terrell, but they're not as loaded as they had once been. And then you look to the offensive side of the ball. You're looking for somebody out wide to step up, whether it's Antonio Williams who finally steps up, or if it's like a tight end like Jake Brenningstool having a big day as a mismatch in the middle, or if it's a guy like Troy Stellato, who a lot of Clemson fans are really high on. But one thing nobody can really deny is, number one, this Clemson offensive line has been underwhelming, even with the returners that they have. And number two, they don't have running back depth. They have Phil Mafah and not much behind him. And here they're going to be facing a defense in Georgia that has fantastic edge rushers on the outside. You're going to see a lot of Chaz Chambliss and Michael Williams. You're going to see a lot of Smell Munden if he ends up playing in this game, which I'm assuming he is based on the sounds of things. And then you got a secondary that, though they're having to replace yet another cornerback spot, that has not been a problem for Georgia under Kirby Smart. It's just they're reloading yet another corner. Last year was Dalen Everett, and he was able to step in and play pretty well, and now he's their new cornerback one. The year before, again, it was Keely Ringo a couple years ago left, so they had to replace him with who? Kamari Lassiter. This is a common trend for Georgia, and I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be able to do this. And Georgia also has this unique ability to get athletic safeties to roll and play three safeties as that nickelback, but also a true nickelback too. But they specifically do play, like Javad Bullard played a lot of nickel his 2 years ago for Georgia, right? 2022 season, the second national championship. And Malachi Starks being as good as he is, a lot of people are saying it's either him or Caleb Downs. The talent is all over the place. The matchup is just not there for Clemson. And if you're a Clemson fan and you're tuning into this video and you're hearing me praise the Georgia Bulldogs talent, please tell me the spot where Clemson has a glaring mismatch over the Georgia Bulldogs, because I personally can't think of it. I personally can't. I don't see how Cade Klubnik exposes this defense. I don't see how they run the ball down Georgia's throat with what they have at linebacker and with the defensive line in the interior with Nazir Stackhouse. I didn't even mention him. I don't know how they're going to be able to throw the ball with the underwhelming perimeter talent that has still not done anything at the University of Clemson for the last 2 years. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I don't know how they're going to be able to truly shut down a Georgia offense that rotates, stays fresh, and they're going to have fresher legs than the Clemson Tigers. Overall in this game, I got Georgia winning, and I got them winning pretty comfortably. I got Georgia winning this ball game by a final score of 35-3. I think that this is a blowout. I don't think it's very close. I think Clemson's going to really, really struggle in this game. And this is definitely going to be the noon game that's a little bit less entertaining, but fun to see what Georgia's going to be capable of this year, because a big part of that doesn't have to do with Clemson's lack of talent. A lot of it also has to do with how prepared I think Georgia is to start this season, and we'll see if they can go on a run towards yet another national championship. It would begin on Saturday.